It may or may not be live. Ooh. Have to find my own stream to figure it out. Oh no, this is hello if you're in here and we are live. Oh yeah, there we go. See myself. All right. Ugh. Gosh. Oh, and the Botrix is there. So if I chat, will it pop up? Oh yeah, there we are. Chat's working. Blazers in 6. How are we, dude? I didn't think I could get this hurt this playoffs. Sorry if I'm a little quiet. Let me get locked in here. How's everyone doing? Blazers in 6. I completely agree. It's like, starting to make content, starting to cover the Blazers and stuff like that. It's games like these where I'm like, I want to go turn all the lights off, roll in bed, and just, I don't know, cry. Maybe not cry, but I'm more angry than sad. Like, I didn't think a playoff game this season could feel like this, because I didn't think we would have such an opportunity in front of us. We were up by, I don't know, 16 or something, and just absolutely blew that. Brad was at the game, so he'll be coming in later, I believe. But dude, unbelievably tough. Dylan Harper, man. 2 and Shea, yeah, 2, dude. We need those threes, man. We just need a couple of them. Shea, I don't know where Shea doesn't know where he fits, and I think a big part of that problem is, we've used him as a first option scorer for so often, but then it comes down to the playoffs and he's not able to do the things that he can do in the run of a normal game against a poorer team. It's a different type of basketball, and Shaden's just not ready for that yet. I think is the thing. Poor Brad, I know. I think it might have been one of his first playoff game, one of the few playoff games he's been doing. He was so excited. I can only imagine how that the energy in that arena was in the middle of that third quarter. I was ready for belt to ass tweets. I was ready for like we can win this whole thing, we can steal the next game, and the whole narrative flipped in about 6 minutes. For most teams, what up, Alonzo? For most teams, that was a terrible shooting night. For us, just another night. Yeah, I mean, the first half was great. First half, we were 50%. You guys will see we got a new graphic set up here with the scrolling box score. We can see some things. I have my desktop set up, but not completely yet. Let me get that out of here. Welcome, everyone. Welcome in. I know everyone's feeling down, feeling sad. That was just tough, man. That's so tough to stomach. Wemby's coming back. That's tough. Yeah. I think Wemby will be back next game. The running around, I mean, I guess the only reason he wouldn't be back is if they decide they can hold him out because they can win the next game. But my guess is that if Wemby's ready to go, Wemby's not sitting out another game. He's not going to let them do that to him. And he was running around before the game. Here comes the Blazers box score scrolling in. Tumani, 2 points. It's not enough. Klingon, 7 points, 11 boards, 2 assists, no blocks. Only 3 offensive boards. It's just not enough. Look at that Drew box score. Look at that Drew spread, though. 29, 6, and 5. Only 2 turnovers, 4 steals. Drew was an absolute animal tonight. I can't believe Scoot was a +9. Actually, I can't believe it, but Shay's just disappeared. Feel like he's just a body out there. That's just kind of the worry it was with him, man. And the worry was that Shay was going to get to a moment like this and he was going to get, first of all, hunted on defense, which is what was happening to him consistently. And second of all, again, it's he drives to the hoop and just gets blocked by Carter Bryant. It's just a different level of physicality of athletes he has to go up against every night. He can't. If the one thing I believed in Shea had a leg up on over everyone else was rim finishing, and he's not able to get to the cup. It's just sad. What up, Levy? Dude, I'm in tears for real. I don't expect that, like a punch in the stomach, because I hope these guys win next at home. Cheers from Brazil. Thanks for tuning in from Brazil. Dude. I think the worst part is that it was right there. You know what I mean? Like, I think if it was so back and forth the whole time and they pulled away in the end, we didn't have the lead, I think it'd be a bit different. Obviously, if Wemby was playing this whole time and we were in this position, to be so different, but I really, really felt like we found ourselves and we're playing well. But I think I'm disappointed in Denny. He has to put more of those shots in the hoop, dude. What was his box score ended up as? 2 of 18. Let me see if I can pull that up. I truly feel Shea can be great, just not on this team. Yeah. Shea can put up good numbers, but that's just and that's like Brad and I have talked about it all the time. It's like, and it's hard to see because we've been away from the playoffs for so long. So for a lot of us that watch mostly the Blazers, it's hard to see a guy like him and think that he can't do it, right? Like, to think that, like, Shea has so many unbelievably good plays. Shea's such an athlete. Like, there's no way he can't, find some success in the playoffs. And when you're not good enough to be the number one guy, you have to be good enough to be a role player to be in the playoffs, and you have to do role player things. And those are the things that Keldon Johnson does, that Carter Bryant is doing, which, I mean, my God, man, if we had Carter Bryant. God, it's so tough. I need to pull up the box score. I hope everyone at least enjoyed, the first half, being up 15. I mean, again, this is all house money. I think that's something that we can all try to lean back on. This entire run was house money. We weren't supposed to be here. I don't really like saying that too much because you can feel how good that opportunity was. You can feel how close we were. It sucks. I feel like we lost. What's up, Sabir? I feel like we lost the series with this game. I'm so disappointed. Yeah. Just frustration, man. It's because did you guys feel like we were gonna blow that when we were up? Because I think and it's something I've just learned to feel over the course of the season with this team, is that no lead is safe either way, right? Like, even kind of when we were down 11 today, I felt like we could get into it. Not the same as game 2. But with this team, no lead is safe either way. When we go up big, we talked about this huge last time. Like, when we're down big, that's when we play our best basketball. For whatever reason, when our back's against the wall, we just completely turn it on, and that's when we actually lock in. It's the complete opposite with this team. When we're up 15, that's when we just let off the gas. We rest on our laurels. We get sloppy. We settle for threes. And look what happened. They came back into the game immediately. God. This team is so fucked up that a loss like tonight makes you feel hopeful to win next game, be a Blazers fan like gambling every day. I mean, that's the thing, Levy, is like, I think we'll come back out the next game and Wemby will be in and we'll be like, okay, now we have nothing to lose again. Now we're at a huge disadvantage. Now no one believes in us. And I think we'll play better for the full 48 minutes. I really do. Like, I thought we played well in the first half tonight. I thought we played really well at the first start of the third quarter on defense. I think just a big credit to the Spurs. They just took that game. I mean, Dylan Harper was... When Dylan Harper dunked that ball, I think it truly... I don't know how much that put us down in that moment. But when he hit that 3 off the offensive rebound, and then when he dunked that ball, that completely sucked the life out of the Moda Center. I could feel it through the TV. I'm excited to see Brad, because I know he'll have a lot of takes from the game. I'm texting him right now. Oh, man. How is Dylan Harper so calm? He's just cold, dude. He's just cold-blooded. We knew it. It's so annoying the Spurs have all these guys. Just walked into their hands. All I can say is I'm glad we're not the Rockets. Yeah, I agree. The Rockets, at least. That one was really bad. I think the lesson I'm trying to learn from the Rockets is that, like, anything can change in a year, right? Like, the Blazers, people thought we were going to have 33 wins, and we were, got a win in the playoffs against the Spurs. The Rockets, I think some people thought they might make the finals this year, and now they, a couple injuries aren't helping them, but look at the way they embarrass themselves. I guess we're not the biggest losers of the night. That's for damn sure. Put up a very valiant effort. They just Dylan Harper, dude. Oh my god, that last play at the half pissed me off so much. How is that not offensive? Yeah, I was tweeting about that. I think those of you who were in here last time, at least, like, heard me talk about how the NBA nowadays, it's not a time to, like, grovel with the refs. Everything kind of comes back. Reffing is a joke across the board. I don't think it's rigged any one way. You can look at replays, you can look at any foul and tell yourself a narrative. That's just kind of how, like, social media works. That play in specifically, where Denny took that elbow to the face, and that was not only not called, because it was called an offensive foul, and then they went and reviewed it and switched the call. I could not believe that that's the result that they came to from that. And I tweeted out, if the Devin Booker elbow the other night that was called an offensive foul that he freaked out about was the exact same play. I'm going to see if I can pull it up here. I want to go to the desktop. Because I wonder if I can share this with you guys. But, dude, it's a joke. I was just like, it's a joke. Thankfully, we, like, hit Jeremy hit a good 3 after. But, man. Let's see what happens if I go here. Oh, this looks a little off. Look at that. Gosh, man. We're all coping together. I appreciate you guys all coming in here. Again, even on this somber note. I was kind of hoping for a comeback. Yeah, me too. I thought we had a little something in us. Dude, I think the saddest part about the Dylan Harper thing is that Scoot, like, the Scoot Dylan Harper back and forth in game 2 was awesome to see, and Scoot, came out on top. We came out on top. And Scoot was on fire to start the game, and he was hitting his jumpers. He was looking good. And then in that third quarter, he tried to take it to Dylan Harper, and the worst part was in, like, the last, like, 3 or 4 possessions where Scoot tried to answer. It was, like, embarrassing turnovers, like, embarrassing moments, and Dylan Harper just took his lunch money. I think that's what stung the most. Yeah, Dylan Harper. What up, Alex? Dylan Harper was pissing me off. Yeah, De'Aaron Fox was the one pissing me off. Dylan Harper was, the killer that put us away, and that's what made me mad about what he was doing, because he was beating us. But it was De'Aaron Fox who was the one who was pissing me off, personally. As a Brazilian Blazers fan, I know Thiago is doing his best, but it's not enough. Besides patriotism, I know he's not the right guy for the job even I want. Yeah, well, the thing about Thiago is now that I think what I was hearing, and I'm interested to see Brad on this, but what I was hearing is that Thiago got or what I saw on Twitter, I guess I should say, is that Thiago got the loudest cheers of anyone when he was announced before the game. So I think the whole Tom Dundon thing has pushed Thiago into everyone's good graces. I do think he deserves to be coach for what he's done. I think he has a lot of room to grow. I thought our offense really stagnated out, and I thought there could have been some timely. I don't know how many timeouts we had really in that run they were going on, but I'm sure one more would have helped. One more, play out of a timeout to drop a bucket would have gone a long way in that moment. Time to pull out the wild card and throw Dame in. Yeah, we might just have to do it now. That's probably what we need. Trying to get caught up. Portland trash baggers. That's what we looked like in that end of the third quarter. That last 6 minutes, bro. Tumani needed to hit a 3. Denny couldn't make a shot. It was too much through Denny when he was just getting manhandled in there and just hoping he would get the call. Like, it was with Denny, it was like even when his like he would get fouled and then he would have an opportunity to try to make the and one, it was nowhere close to the rim. He had no way to put the ball in the hoop tonight. It was just it sucked to see. I think the chat's still scrolling. This was so preventable. Why did Splitter never call a timeout and just let them make a run? Yeah, I don't know what happened in that run. I need more screens. That's what I need. Let's take a look here. I want to know the play-by-play that happened there. I'm gonna switch to this real quick and try to get that in. Don't mind the ugly look here. I'm sorry about this for just 1 second. I have to do this. Oh, no, not that. Sorry. Ooh. My buddy Carl, by the way, made me these nice new graphics. And yeah, here we go. Oh no. Why is it so big? All right. Now we got this. Now I can kind of see. Okay. I think you guys can see my desktop, right? All right, because I want to go to the play-by-play. Keep reading these chats. After this live, I'm probably going to turn off social media till Sunday. Yeah, I can't. I'm not going to be able to handle the Spurs fans on Twitter, especially the ones that were calling out the. There were so many Spurs fans who thought the refs were in our favor, and again, it's like, the Denny call was the biggest one, but like I just couldn't believe the way that some people are interpreting this game. It baffles my mind, bro. Feels like the refs are just making it up lately. Yeah, I mean, truly, and that's the thing is that the Devin Booker here. This is what I wanted to show you guys. So this is Devin Booker getting an offensive foul on Caruso. Replay one more time. Offensive foul on Caruso with the elbow into the chin. Right? That was the same ref crew that ref that game looked at this play right here and said, this is an offensive foul on Devin Booker. And then they took this play from Denny and said that Denny moving into the arm of De'Aaron Fox. And that is a defensive foul on Denny. It's the double standard is absolutely ludicrous. Like, make both of them no calls. Make both of them offensive foul calls. Make both of them defensive foul calls. I don't care. Call it the same. What are we supposed to do when it's like that? How am I supposed to think about this game? It blows my mind, man. I couldn't believe that one. I want to go to this play-by-play to see how this all broke down. Because what were we at? Let's see. Again, appreciate you guys, all you guys in here. I'm trying to do like 10 things at once, trying to get Brad on. Brad said he'll be home in 4 minutes ago, so we'll get him on soon here. Hit that little spot down there with the shell and the trophy. That's where he'll go. And I'm trying to get to all your chats too. Let's catch up and then we'll go through these play-by-plays. I'm a big Mamba. What up? I'm a big Denny fan, but he really disappointed me today. He didn't show up. He looked so low on confidence. This team needs a dominant Denny to compete with the Spurs long term. He didn't take enough shots. I don't know if it was not enough shots, but it's so weird because that Suns game, like you saw such dominance from him in the first game of the series. So much dominance. His jump shot looked good. I don't know if I don't like to put it all on like Denny's hurt because that's kind of, I think it's a little easy to lean on that. Like he's playing the game. He's got to be out there and make the shots. But it's so night and day sometimes with Denny, whether his shot, his mid-range can go in. Like his 3-point shot has escaped him for the most part for a while, and that's since the back injury. But sometimes that mid-range game is there. Sometimes he's able to get all the way to the hoop. And tonight, neither were the case. And the ball was just rolling off the rim. He was coming up short on those floaters. He didn't look. You're right about the fact that he didn't look confident. Like, he just did not look like he could finish it. And to his credit, I really do think he's getting hacked like almost every time he drives into the hoop. And sometimes it's getting called, and sometimes it's not. But it's just ultimately not a reliable way to try to get to the free throw line 20 times. Like, the refs gave you 14 attempts. Like, I need to move the chat on this, don't I? Sorry, the chat looks weird. Let me put that in the right spot. Thank you guys for letting me work through these technical difficulties. I'm trying to up our production game. Get my buddy Carl with the sweet overlays here. Oh, yeah, that looks a bit off too. Oops. Where are we here? So I'm trying to get everything set up. Let me go back to this one for a sec. So I can read y'all's chats. Everyone, thank you for being in here. I appreciate y'all. Brad is coming soon. We'll have a lot of banter. He went to the game, so he'll give you a lot of sights and sounds from inside the game. I want to start the weekend on a good note. I mean, me too, man. Me too. Either way, a lot to be proud of this year. Hope they can regroup for Game 4 and give us one win at Moda. Yeah, we deserve one win. We deserve one Moda win. Again, I think they'll come out against this Wemby game with a chip on their shoulder. It just is gonna be like so much tougher. It's gonna be so much tougher than it was tonight. That's for sure. I think we'll play better. I truly think we will play better against Wemby, but they will play better too. That's for sure. I'm really sad with Kamara, man. He let me down more than Denny. I know Abdi is the main character, but dude, how do you defend badly and your offense is nonchalant? I thought his defense was solid. He drew a couple. I thought his defense was great in the first half. He drew those offensive fouls. He was doing a good job on Fox. He was really frustrating him. And look, his offense doesn't need to be more than 3-point shooting, but he has to knock a couple down. You know what I mean? Like, he has to get it done. Where's the... Okay, here we go. Let me fix this because I want to see the box score. Editing on the fly. Excuse me. All right, so let's go to the box score. Where are we at? Tumani Kamara, 33 minutes, 2 points, 1 of 6 field goal, 0 for 4 from 3. It's just, if 2's 2 of 4, I think we stay in that a lot closer. Jeremy, another minus 19. Again, the plus minus is tough, but like when you see Scoot with plus 9 and Jeremy minus 19, like you understand it a little bit, Thiago did tighten up the rotations, but he took Matisse out instead of Shaden, which is interesting. We got new overlays. That's right, Blazers. Again, I'm trying to work through them. Oh, whoops. What were the Spurs? Von Castle, 10 of 18, 33 points for him. Dylan Harper, 27, 9 of 12. He had 10 boards, too. How many turnovers they have? They had 13 turnovers. We had 10. We only had 10 turnovers. The Blazers having 10 turnovers and shooting 37% from threes. It's pretty good. Like that. Those are numbers for the way this season has gone. I will take 9 times out of 10. 69% from the line, not good. Denny got 16 free throw attempts. Like, what more can we really ask for? It's just a 3 of 15 from the field is just not. I can't do that, man. Blazers got the refs and still lost without against Spurs with Wemby. That's tough. Yeah, sure. Whatever you say, man. Whatever helps make you feel better about your team. You already have Dylan Harper. You already have Wemby. You already have Stephon Castle. If you got to say we have the refs too, great. Awesome. on you. I had the Blazers winning the finals versus New York. Does my bracket have hope? I don't think so. I actually also had the Knicks in the finals, Sabir. So I didn't put the Blazers all the way there, but we're both in the New York travesty. Why didn't we believe in CJ McCollum? What are we doing? Man, I want CJ back on this team. With CJ here, it would have felt right. Bro, you are the owner of the Blazers for the fans at Twitter, is my doubt for months. Yeah, I'm on the Blazers lead. That's what you're referring to, which so many Spurs fans coming at me on Twitter, man. So many Spurs fans just demand, Denny got touched, Denny got hacked. It's like he drives in there every time and he just gets smacked every time. He could have gotten to the line 30 times if they really called everything he got hit on. I don't think he should go to the line 30 times. I don't think they should call all those. But to sit there and act like he's foul baiting, to sit there and act like we're getting the better end of the stick, I truly do think is ridiculous. Just go, if you're a Spurs fan, go be happy that you have Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, and Wemby. Like, just go relish in that. Stop talking to us about the refs. Man. He wasn't trying to make anything, in my opinion. He was straight up just trying to get to the line. I hate to say it, but the man was foul baiting tonight. Yeah. I think foul baiting is stretched, but I do think foul baiting has such a negative connotation at this point, Blazers in 6, that it's like it feels derogatory, right? I do think Denny goes through this here and there, like he was extra feeling like he needed foul calls to be on his side or to get anything going on offense. Like a lot of the times in the season, we'll just see him like tonight, he can't do anything on offense. He can't put the ball in the basket. He has to get to the line, and he just is so dependent on it. It brings out the worst in him. It brings out the worst in the people who don't like him. That sucks. Fox should have fouled out. I mean, I agree, dude. I really cannot believe how that was the case. I cannot believe how that was not an offensive foul. Clingan has been disappointing. What up, Justin? Clingan has been disappointing. He needs to work on developing a couple offensive moves. Yeah, you saw it a couple times when in that second half, like when he had Luke Cornett one-on-one in the post and was just strong and aggressive, he got a foul call, Like at least he was trying. And it worked out. Like I'll take Kling going to the line. I know he's not the best free throw shooter, but nothing is ever drawn up for him, and his only consistent option on offense is shooting the 3, and that hasn't been good recently. So I think it's in there, and we've seen it sometimes. But again, it's another one with him where it feels Gobert-esque, and that's a problem because Gobert's defense is so otherworldly right now, and Klingen's defense is not quite there. It's just really not. Jeremy's the most frustrating of all the rotation players. I really honestly agree, Alex. I thought Jeremy was better tonight. But when Jeremy's out there, like he's not sticky to his man on defense anymore. The 3-point shot isn't, he can hit the open one. I like the no dip ones. Like he can shoot a quick one. But it's not like, when Devin Vassell has that rise and the ability to hit with a man in his face. Like, I don't believe in Jeremy's 3 like that anymore. He had one, maybe 2 good back downs to get to the rim. But there's something about Jeremy that is, I think I'm, and Brad may feel differently. I'm sneaking this in while he's not here. He should be here soon. But I think we got to find a way to get Jeremy to sell higher on Jeremy and get rid of him this summer. I think he's been very valuable this year. I think he's had a much better year than last year. But there's something about Jeremy, and we all see it. It's not like it's crazy. This is a crazy take at all. If anything, it's the norm. But Brad and I have been in Jeremy's corner a lot more than people. But I just think there's something that's slow and kind of weak about him right now, and he's not being dynamic enough in any really way, shape, or form to make up for what is bad numbers. Like, he has bad advanced numbers. He has bad box score numbers. I mean, let's look at his. I want to see his. What is Jeremy's plus minus for the course of this series? So first game, Jeremy Grant was a minus 25. Okay. Second game, help me do math. You guys, Jeremy was he's a plus 2 in the third game. So that was actually better. Where Matisse was a minus 22. So minus 25 plus 2, we got a minus 19 tonight. I thought it was really ugly in the third game too. Minus 19. I mean, still, Jeremy in 3 games is a plus minus 32, which may not be the worst on the team, but it's certainly not the best. But you feel those, you know what I mean? Like, when you a plus minus, you kind of have to pair it with how you felt about the player. And Tumani minus 12, Denny minus 16. I mean, the Drew minus 7 that's not accurate, you know. What is Sharp's role on this team? It's really hard to say, Justin. It's really hard to say. Because Shaden is a number 1 option style of player who isn't good enough to be a number 1 option. You know what I mean? The flaws in Shaden's game are the things that role players are good at. And right now, Shaden is not good at role player stuff and not good enough at number 1 option stuff. So he has to essentially pick a side and figure out a way to be one of them. And it's just, I don't know. I don't think he was. I think he's trying to do the right things in the playoffs right now. Like, I think he's really trying to play good defense, and I think his defense has honestly been pretty okay, like pretty fine for getting hunted every possession. I think it's been some of the best consistent defense I feel like I remember him seeing is him locking in right now and trying to handle these one-on-one possessions. I don't think it's been that bad. Feels like his confidence is down a little. He's probably still nursing that calf injury, so he's not himself. We don't run plays for him because we don't really run plays for anyone. We kind of just give the ball to Denny or Drew and let them do everything. Drew played 41 minutes tonight. Damn. Would have been nice to end with a win. Agree. At least I get to watch CJ cook the Knicks. Yeah, I'm big. I picked the Knicks to go to the finals, and it's not going to work, it looks like, but I'm super happy for CJ. I think Dundon will hardly invest in this team, man. I watched the NHL too, and Hurricanes, no joke. Besides Avalanche and Oilers, his team's the 3rd most chance to win the Stanley Cup. So I'm wondering, is that like, I mean, the Hurricanes are good, and I don't know how I feel if I want the Hurricanes to make it or not. I'm hoping all the cost cutting is because Dundon wants to invest in players, and he knows players are the way to go. So he'll be willing to dip into the tax a little bit. Maybe he'll be aggressive in some fashion. I don't know what that means, but he's so big. He's 1 inch shorter than Wemby. He should develop some offense. Yeah, Klingon, man, it doesn't have the touch. It doesn't have the touch right now. Let me get back to here. Jeremy's locking every screen. Yeah, it's the screen. Like, you're right, Levy. It's the screens. Every time he gets screened, feels like he's out of the play, and I just get scared. He's too slow off those. You know what? I'm going to choose to not be upset. We're a young team with a breaking out Scoot and Denny, a Dane that's coming back next year, and still a great Drew. Yeah, I mean, I'm down to let's take a step back now because I think it's totally right to be upset. Oh, there he is. Here he comes. Yeah, I mean, let's take a step back because we'll be all right. This team's gonna be all right. It's 2-1 in the series. I mean, the fact that we stole one is still awesome. The fact that we still had that game is still incredible. Brad's coming in here. I got the Discord logo. Ah, there he is. What up, Brad?
You hear me?
I can. Can you guys hear
Nice.
me?
Am I on?
I think you're on.
Dude, that sucked. That was such a bummer. I haven't listened to anything you've said yet. What's been the overall message? I don't know how much I need to either agree or disagree with you.
I think everyone's just bummed. Everyone's just.
It was a bummer. It was really sad.
I think we've more or less, Chad and I have been more or less just kind of running through each player, like saying why we were disappointed in them. We haven't done a lot of praising of Drew, but like we talked about Denny, we talked about Tu, we talked about Klingon, we talked about Jeremy. Dylan Harper's an insane person.
Can I lead with one thing? Because I'm seeing these morons on Twitter and Reddit talk about how, if you guys are saying this in the chat, I apologize for calling you guys morons. But people are like, the crowd wasn't good tonight. The fact that they didn't wave the towels is ridiculous.
Oh.
The crowd was amazing.
Was the crowd
I sat in
great?
312. I'm getting goosebumps right now just thinking about it. They came ready to cheer, ready to root the team on. They were electric. It was the most fun I've ever had a game in terms of like crowd engagement.
Yeah.
The towels sucked. I got one in my pocket right here. Here's the problem with the towels, because everyone's saying, oh, they should be waving them. Everyone tried to wave the towels.
They're too small. They're too small.
They're too small. It's oh my god, dude, this fucking sucks. Pardon my language. It is already like it's completely fraying already. You can see that. You see that?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah,
that's what
dude.
happens when you try to
I
wave
will do a live demonstration of trying to wave this stupid towel. And then they had the audacity. Here's the worst part. They had the audacity to bring out the T-shirt cannon on 2 separate occasions.
Oh, wow. So they did give some T-shirts out.
It's like, fuck you guys. Seriously, because these towels, I'll give you an example. You can get like one good wave. You ready?
Yeah.
Is everyone watching? Then they do that. They wrap around you. These things you can kind of go like that, I guess. But they're like, you got to put in some effort, dude. They're like weirdly like thick. They're completely fraying. All these people whining that we like, oh, the crowd wasn't into it. The crowd was into it the entire time.
Yeah. People
were cheering them on till the end. It was the best crowd experience I've ever been in the hundreds of Blazer games I've been to in my life. But these towels sucked. It would have been so nice if there was some of the bullshit that Teal's like, Moda's going to be rocking on Friday.
That was so ridiculous.
Just see what we bring. And it's these shit towels, which honestly, cool towels. Like in terms of like, oh, it's a fun little collectible. But in terms of it being the shirt replacement, the thing that's supposed to be the unifying part of the crowd that everyone can wear, everyone can use, nonsense. Everyone tried to, you saw everyone in every single area do the same thing where they're like, oh, all right, exactly. So it's like, miss me with that, as the kids say.
Oh my God, that's ridiculous. Yeah, I was like, Shield said it like it's gonna be something crazy. Like it's gonna be like you're gonna. Didn't he say that you're gonna hear this one or something? Like,
oh, I know. I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? Shield pisses me off. In some ways, he pisses me off more than Dundon, because Dundon at least is like, he doesn't say, oh, here's the best part about, or not the best, but the most hilarious part of the game. LaMarcus was there, right?
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Which was awesome. And they showed him on the big screen. I don't know if they did this on TV too, but they showed him sitting next to Teal, right?
Yeah.
Which was awesome. You know who was sitting? Teal's to his right. You know who was sitting to his left?
Was it Dundon?
Tom Dundon.
Yeah.
But that little bitch is too afraid. Dude, he's here for 2 weeks. He won't show himself on the big screen.
He didn't go on the big screen at all.
Which is absolutely ridiculous, because he's saying he knows he's going to get booed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Imagine, dude, you bought a team that everyone was kind of like on board with you within the first, like, I don't know, 24 hours of you being on the team.
Yeah.
And then you are such a joke now on a national stage that you won't even show yourself on the big screen.
Yeah.
It's like, sorry, coward. But also, he was right to not show himself on the big screen. It was LaMarcus's moment. If he showed himself on the big screen, he would have been. It would have ruined that. Because it's like, dude, like we've talked about, if you're gonna be like cutting costs, blah 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 blah, if that's the way you want to run the team, like whatever. The fact that he is at all a talking point of the season right now is ridiculous. And the fact that he's not able to show himself on the big screen to a city that he just bought the team for,
Right.
3 weeks ago was embarrassing. But you know what? Who cares? Let's talk about the game.
Yeah.
What have you guys said so far? Can you give me like a quick rundown of what
Yeah. I mean,
your and everyone's? Because here's what's cool about going to a game. You interpret it a lot differently than you do on
yeah.
TV,
No,
right?
I'm
Like at the end of the
excited.
game, my girlfriend, my brother, and I were saying, like, sorry,
No, go, go, go,
I'm
go.
on a roll right
Go,
now.
go.
We're saying like, what happened? And on TV, it's easier to say what happened because when you're there, it's a really beautiful thing where you're kind of going way more off like feel and vibes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so much easier to be like, oh man, we didn't have it there. The Spurs just had it. It's harder to be have that much more of critical thinking, especially, I mean, from where we were sitting. I was
Right.
behind the hoop, second to last row.
Yes. Right.
You know what I mean? And still paid 120, which I was glad to because it
Right.
was an amazing game.
Yeah. And
But
it's also
what
the
were
lack
you
of
guys seeing that
reviews.
maybe I didn't see?
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm curious, like, how did that third quarter feel the most to you? Like, what was the energy in the building when we were up 15, and then what was when Dylan Harper, the moment that really stuck to me, and this was in the fourth quarter, but when Dylan Harper dunked that basketball, to me, it felt like the entire life of the stadium got sucked out of the building. And that was when it was kind of in a complete shift from like we're just down 7 to like we just
I'm
got
not
punched
sure
in
there
the
was
mouth.
any one moment. I will say that going like when the third quarter ended, I was like, man, I actually thought like I hope the crowd gets back into this for the fourth
Right,
because there
'cause
was
they
kind
were
of this
taking
like
up.
everyone looking around like that didn't feel good. You can feel it when a team, even if it's a close game, you can feel it live at a game when it's like this is not feeling too hot. That's how this game felt. Like
Yeah.
on a pure like live vibe. But then when the fourth quarter started, like people, it was as loud as I've ever heard the arena
Right.
in my entire life. People were ready to go. We came out fine in the fourth. I'm not sure if I can point to a single moment that I thought was, this is where the tides turned. It
Sure.
felt like a slow burn.
Okay.
Because actually, in my eyes, I didn't think the crowd really gave up on the team until I'd say 2.5 minutes to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact play that it was.
I
'Cause
know we were on a run, and then Fox got fouled, and that kind of pushed it a little
That
bit further.
honestly might have been
Yeah.
it. That might be the one that I would
Yeah,
actually
because
point
we gave
to,
one
because-
last little
yeah.
like 6-0 run to try to salvage it to bring it from 15 to 9, but then when Fox got fouled, I think it came out of reach. That was the moment to me. To me, the game completely got out of hand. I'm bummed that we let it slip, let our big lead go away in the third. But the moment to me that the whole thing kind of, I don't know, felt out of reach, but totally changed was the offensive rebound that led to the Dylan Harper 3 and the Dylan Harper drive-by scoot. The acrobatic finish on that dunk, you probably didn't see on a replay, but was phenomenal to go around Rob,
Yeah.
I hate to say. John Doe says Scoot should have stopped talking to Dylan. There was a lot of Scoot jarring at Dylan. I mean, that's why he got that technical.
Which
and
live,
then-
everyone was. I was into it.
I
was
literally
like,
tweeted out I was happy with it. The problem was Scoot followed that up by getting absolutely clamped by him, and then Dylan Harper
Yeah.
scoring 7 points in the start of the fourth quarter. So yeah, it's been a lot
were
of
those
like
primarily scored on by Scoot. I didn't really notice that.
Dylan got him. Dylan got him a lot of time. I mean, like Guy Gabriel says, like Kamara's a no-show this whole series.
Yeah.
It's like that's
Well,
kind
that's
of
the
that's
thing.
kind of
Who's-
what we've been talking about the whole time. Like Kamara no show, Jeremy better but not enough. Denny got all the free throw attempts he probably could have asked for, but 3 of 15 not good enough. Klingon just kind of slow and sloppy still. That's kind of the gist of the chat is like there just weren't enough guys tonight who stepped up to the moment, and the Spurs had too many who did it basically in Castle and Harper.
I thought Denny was kind of a complete disaster, if I'm being honest. I thought it was kind of a bummer to watch because he, in the third quarter, you were kind of like, okay, like we talk about, an ethical Denny game versus an unethical Denny game. This is about as unethical of a Denny game as I've
Completely.
watched. And at a certain point, it's like, okay, maybe it's because he's clearly hurt, so he's still finding a way to put points up on the board, which like all credit to him for that, dude. But it took until his 10th shot for him to get points from the ball going in the hoop because his
Yeah.
one field goal was a goaltend.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was like, dude, it was brutal to watch. And you kind of knew those calls were going to last forever because he was getting like mid-range foul calls. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like it was not like he wasn't really getting that great of at rim attempts. It
Hmm.
felt like he was kind of foul baiting near the mid-range and short range and was getting some really solid calls. And he shot fine from the free throw line. 12 of 16 in a playoff games feels like you could have told me he was 2 of 20, the way those four misses, the way those four misses
Yeah.
felt. I like that he's still, he's the playmaker on the team. He was still getting people involved. But dude, 3 of 15 from without Wimby on the court it's really terrible.
Yeah.
12 of 16 getting the line a lot is nice. Denny was a disaster and in a way that was really really not fun because it's like if you're gonna get points on the board and play a winning brand of basketball that's not fun to watch, that's one thing, but once that became not winning basketball, it became a brutal
Well,
watch
I
and
think
he
that.
left
Yeah.
some guys open in these corner threes that like
Yeah.
killed me.
Yeah, he
That was
did end with
rough.
9 assists somehow, but it to
Yeah.
me it was the reason that the offense stalled out in the third quarter was partially because we got cold from three, but also because that was when I felt like he was really trying to force it down the lane when we just didn't need to.
Yeah.
We didn't need early shot clock drives to the hoop. We needed ball movement, get them on their heels, look for good opportunity, and then if at the end of the shot clock you want to go for something, go for it. But we weren't in a situation, and again, there's probably some of this is on Tiago to not slow this down. Like, he's not been good at this all season long, but it just felt like in that, we took a lead up 15. It's the NBA playoffs. They don't have their best player. And instead of adapt to the situation and try to maintain the lead a little bit more, not play scared, but just adapt is kind of how I put it. That we just did the same stuff we've been doing, and then we got cold and they got hot, and then by then it was the moment. We talk about momentum, such a big thing, so it's really
Yeah, no,
tough.
100%. And that's because it wasn't just Denny, dude. I mean, Tumani was terrible tonight. And but also, like you said, dude, it's not just that obviously Denny played bad, but the offense being created in that third quarter and on, like middle of the third quarter and on, was a disaster.
I mean, third quarter
Like
in
there was so
general, 22 points in the third quarter for us, 21 in the fourth quarter.
because it was this weird mix of like complete indecisiveness and a lack of ball movement, which is a really bad mix. Because it's like if it reminded me of our offense in the first quarter of game one, where it's like there wasn't much of anything going on, yet we were still timid.
First
Which is like
quarter
if you're
game
not
one, yeah.
going to be, have a lot of ball movement, again, no on ball screens, which just was driving me nuts. Especially, I've said this all year. If you have a guy like Denny, if you have a guy like Scoot, if you have a guy like Drew,
Guy like Shaden.
and you're not creating, you're expecting to do everything on their own off the dribble. It felt like me playing 2K, dude. The way I play 2K is like I'm kind of a rim runner. If anyone plays 2K, they're not gonna like that I'm a rim runner. But I do a lot of like passing around the perimeter, driving at the hoop and trying to score around the hoop. It felt like me playing 2K, dude. Whereas
Yeah.
like Denny would try something, kind of get clamped, pass it to Drew, he'd get kind of clamped, pass it to Scoot, he'd kind of get clamped. Um, it was really rough to watch. I wish we would just it's such a basic thing. It sounds so simple, but I wish we would just utilize more on-ball screens so that our guys could so do that except for some reason we decided to make them create everything off the dribble, which when we're not in a rhythm is terrible. And if we're doing that and just kind of passing around the three-point line, we were doing the same thing that I said in game 1 where I felt like we were passing up okay shots for way worse shots,
Yeah.
which I understand that in principle because like you don't want to take a shot that only feels okay. But if you're running the offense that we're running, you have to be decisive about the shots you're going to take, and we weren't, and it was ugly to watch. I thought going down the list more of the players who played, uh Tuani was awful. And I thought he was pretty mediocre defensively too.
I thought he was good in the first half. I thought it started
I
to.
thought he was good in the first half,
And I
and
thought
then
it was. I thought we were. I thought our defense was really good to start the third quarter, and I thought that's what led to a 15-point
sure,
lead.
agreed.
I really thought we were putting them in some tough spots, and and the shots that they were making were just tough looks. As
Yeah.
soon as the offense started, we started missing our shots. As soon as the offense stalled out a little bit, we just completely lost, like let go of the rope. Like
Yeah.
we let the offense turn into bad defense. We let the bad defense turn into bad offense, and it just completely unraveled. I thought we had it all there, and then like it's basically like you were saying, it was just too much. Like this, what was really working that first half was like the Scoot confidence jumpers,
Yeah.
and like we didn't do any of that with him in the third quarter in that stretch. I think it was like him in. I think it was just Denny on with. I want to say maybe Drew was also on there, but he was probably a little winded, a little tired. I think I'm trying to. I need to go to that third quarter and run down what happened, but I'll let you keep going.
Yeah, I agree. It was, it's a game that clearly they're short on guys. I can't believe, Dylan Harper went 9 to 12. It's another thing where like, Dylan Harper was cooking us while you were there, but you don't realize to the extent because you're going, really off of team vibes of like
Yeah,
my team's doing well versus their team's doing well. You're not as when you're live there, you're enjoying the atmosphere so much. You're into it in such a different way that it's harder to uh, kind of comprehend what's going on, decipher that we're getting wrecked by Dylan Harper. But I mean, I can't think of a guy that you would want Tumani on more than Dylan Harper. And
yeah.
you're gonna have to tell me who was his like primary defender tonight. It sounds like you were saying it was
It
Scoot.
was Scoot. It was a lot
I
of
know I was
Scoot
there
on Dylan.
live,
It
but
was Scoot.
I'm having a
Yeah,
hard
yeah.
time remembering
It was
that.
a lot of Scoot on Dylan Harper.
I thought Scoot was mostly really uh, maybe this is going to get a lot of disagreement. I thought he was mostly really good defensively
Yeah,
tonight.
I
I
thought.
know he had stretches where Dylan Harper went off, and I
Well,
understand that, but
A lot of the Dylan Harper buckets that came down the stretch, some of them were on Scoot. Like that dunk he blew, Scoot got two up in his face. He drove right by him and then dunked on
sure,
Rob. Again, another three, like one three was like a kind of a grenade. Another three came off
yeah.
an offensive rebound. So I wouldn't say like Scoot let Dylan Harper cook him too much.
Actually, that Scoot made these guys take some pretty tough shots and played
Yeah,
well in passing lanes. I was pretty happy with how Scoot played, and I've seen some people kind of criticize his like post first quarter play offensively too.
yeah,
I thought Scoot was great the entire. I mean, people have to realize like you're gonna have good stretches, you're gonna have bad stretches. It's about your overall impact on the game, right?
right.
It's like did he have kind of a awkward shooting stretch where I think he missed four straight? It's like yeah, but he made three straight to start. Like
Yeah,
that's kind of how it works. He still recovered, was 5 of 9 at halftime, 4 of 6 from three, ended 5 of 10 from three, 8 of 18 from the field. He was sure not all the shots are going in, but he was. You watch him, it's like other than Denny, and I don't even know if and Drew. Actually, yeah, I don't want to know if I want to say Denny. I thought he was not getting us good looks at all for I guess for other people. He was doing a fine job of creating for others, as you can see with his 9 assists. But Drew, it's weird. You can't really criticize it because he finished 12 of 18, 5 of 9 from three. He was overall fantastic. I kind of have to remind myself that every player goes through some bad stretches because he had some Drew ball at some sort of inopportune times, I would
there
say,
was a couple of
where it
them. Yeah,
but whatever. It's like
Drew. I mean, Drew
am I
deserved. If
expect
anything, Drew deserved him tonight. But it's just
sure.
that's the
And he was
point.
great defensively
That's
for
the
the most
point.
part.
That's the point, though, is that we shouldn't. Even when Drew's on fire, it shouldn't have to be so much Drew ball. It shouldn't have to be so much Denny ball. Like there should be so much less of that with how much talent is on this team. It's
This
just
is a
like
talented team, right? I know. I agree.
so. Look at this is the third quarter. I just want to break this down real quick for everyone. So we're up 17 with 5 minutes left.
Damn, we were up 17.
We were up 17 with 5 minutes left in the third. We had pushed this lead all the way there. Jeremy got fouled, made two free throws. Dylan Harper 24.3-point jumper, and then Tumani to make it 16 still. Dylan Harper layup. Drew turnaround jump shot. Keldon Johnson free throws. Carter Bryant step back three. You remember that one?
Yeah.
See that one too was just a tough look. Was like that was just a great shot. But then we got Drew Holiday step back three, like you're saying. Scoot comes in. Dylan Harper gets fouled. The rundown's tough. I mean, Keldon Johnson 25-foot point 3-point jumper.
I've got a question. Did it look like
Nothing
Scoot
Blazers.
was throwing bad passes, or did it look like these guys just could not catch the ball? Because live, it looked like these guys could not catch the ball. But, I'm
Um,
behind the hoop. It's hard to really decipher that.
I don't really remember much um about the passes.
Jeremy was so bad in that second half, dude.
Yeah.
I thought he'd finally figured it out. I thought he had a really nice first half. I thought he was,
Really.
like we've talked about, dude, his bad just feels so disastrous. Like he's got to lead the league or lead the team in most opponent points off of misses. It just feels like, every time he falls over, it immediately becomes a
Yeah.
5-on-4, like we
Yeah.
talked about in the
He's
last
just
video.
laying down under the hoop.
Exactly, it was a bummer, dude. I thought, what'd you think of Shea?
um, I thought it was kind of more of the same. Like, I thought defense was
Yeah.
okay. They were hunting him every time.
Oh, they were hunting him, dude.
I thought he,
And
but
I
I
thought he
thought I
gave
thought for getting hunted every time, he held his own okay. But it was
effort wise, yeah, I thought it was kind of a disaster if I'm being honest. But he's trying. I mean, but like again, it's the playoffs. I'm kind of done caring if you're trying. But he was, but it's almost more negative that he was trying, and that's kind of what came out of it. I still wish he got, but also here's the thing, dude. I don't even know how I'm supposed to judge his game. He was subbed in the second quarter, played a couple minutes, and then we don't see him again until the most important part of the game in the fourth quarter. What
yeah.
weird substitution patterns is that? Like, how do you expect Shea? I thought he was bad tonight, but it's like you're not really setting him up for much. It was the same thing as game one. I had the same criticism as game one, where you saw him for a bit in the second, and all of a sudden he doesn't play at all until the most important part of the game.
Hmm.
It's like that's not really like putting Shea, who's still a young guy in his first playoff series, in the best position to succeed. And he really, in my eyes, did not succeed, but he could have been get put in a better position. A positive side, dude, Rob was
Rob was
fantastic.
Rob was great. It
I
was
thought he
really
put out a 10 out of 10 game.
Yeah. It was really weird that I tweeted out like in the start of the third quarter we had won all the minutes with Klingon in. And then Rob came in, and that's when everything kind of fell apart. And I didn't really know why, and I didn't really know
It was not Rob.
it was not
Rob is the
Rob.
only thing keeping it from not falling apart way more.
Yeah. The first half
That's how it
first
felt.
half he was incredible.
Incredible. In the second half, it's like he was doing everything it was the best. First half was the best half I think he's had as a Blazer. Or at least it felt that way live. It was good, but my voice is kind of shot
Yeah, I
since,
can
I
tell.
had a
But
good time, I
right.
guess. But, yeah, dude, I thought he did everything he could in the second half. He was trying. He was weirdly kind of loose. It's strange he finished with uh, 9 rebounds because I thought he was really getting killed on the defensive glass, which I guess he was. He finished with 3 defensive rebounds,
And
which makes
9
sense
offense. Yeah.
because that was underratedly, I thought, the worst part of the game
Hmm.
was we were just letting them at the most inopportune times get as many shots up as they possibly could,
Right.
and that was it was rough to watch. Yeah, I really liked watching Rob play. I thought Klingon was mostly pretty good.
I thought
I
Klingon was fine.
yeah, I could see that. I thought we really needed him on the defensive glass. And it showed because 8 defensive rebounds in 19 minutes. Like, there's a reason he didn't. He's the only guy other than Scoot who didn't have a negative plus minus. And dude, Scoot being a +9
Yeah.
in 36 minutes,
Yeah.
and we lose
Yeah.
by 12. That means in the how many minutes were in a basketball game? 48.
The 12
In
minutes
12 minutes
he wasn't
that
on.
Scoot wasn't playing, we were -17,
That's crazy.
right?
I think so. I think of the math.
Is that how that works?
No, 21.
What's not what how much we
Because
lose by?
he's
Oh, we lost by
plus
12.
9. Or he
Yeah.
was a +9? Or was he a +7?
Yeah.
+9, and
So
we
that
lost
means
by
we're
12.
out
So
yes, we're outscored by oh no, I
21.
thought we lost by
We were
we're outscored
outscored
by
by
21 when
21.
Scoot was off the court.
That's great. In 12 minutes.
In 12 minutes. That's ridiculous.
And that
And
I think it was that stretch, like the 5 minute to 2.5 minute mark, where it was like a 10-0 run by them. I think it was most of it. But that's where our offense stagnated out.
I don't blame Thiago for that because I mean he played 36 minutes. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like unless you're expecting him to play all 48, you can't really blame him for that. You got to look at the guys who are coming off the bench. But you look coming off the bench, it's like, dude, who do we have as a
I mean,
ball handler?
I mean,
You know what I mean?
Denny was 16 minus 16 of those.
Yeah,
So when
he
Denny was
was.
out there, when Denny basically what it was, when Denny was out there and he only had to pass to Tumani to Klingon on when he was sitting on the 3-point line and not working as a roller at all.
Yeah,
When he had to pass to Jeremy, who couldn't do much, and then I don't think like he was out there a lot with Matisse. Matisse didn't play much. Maybe when it was Shaden out there with him, but when it basically was all the options that weren't Scoot, there's just no one else to hit a shot. I'm sure a lot of Denny's 9 assists came to Scoot, would be my guess.
I actually thought Klingon played a really good defensive game for the most part. Like, here's kind of even though Rob was great, when they don't have Wimby, their offense feels so much more simplified.
Yeah.
And Klingon, when he's on defensively, makes the defense for us feel, in a good way more simple. When the team is on defensively and Klingon's in the game, it's like he takes up so much space, protects the paint so much well that the court just shrinks dramatically for the Spurs. It's like you watch the most efficient, solid, simplest form of defense. And Rob, who, like I said, was fantastic, but when Rob's in the game, like he needs to and is great at kind of running around and switching a lot more. And I thought this was a game that defensively we could have really used Kling in that drop coverage and just kind of let him hang out there and play a very almost boring, simple defense, like not that complex of a scheme. Where
Yeah.
with Rob, it felt like we were doing a lot more without really needing to. Now, obviously, individual offensive and defensive rating for on a game-to-game basis is not the easiest thing or like the most consistent thing to judge. But yeah, dude, when Klingon was in the game, we had a defensive rating of 102, which is fantastic. When Rob was in, it was 131. Again, not Rob's fault. I thought he was fantastic, but it just showed that the schemes that we were running when Rob was in the game were, at least to me, felt a little more all over the place, which can work really great if you want to like cause chaos, switch a lot. But I didn't feel like for what the Spurs were putting out, that was something that was really needed.
Yeah. Again,
Scoot, dude, 100.
I think it was just that whole third quarter. I think is the entire difference between Rob and Klingon's defensive rating there. And again, I
Dude,
can't.
this is crazy.
Yeah.
Can I say something really quick?
Yeah.
So we talked about like in the 12-minute Scoot route, we were outscored by 21. When Scoot was in, we had a defensive rating. Just for I assume a lot of people know that, but if you don't, that's completely fine. It's how many points you allow per 100 possessions when you're in the game. Defensive rating. Scoot had a defensive rating in 36 minutes of 103.8. We had a defensive rating for the entirety of the game of 121. So that means in the 12 minutes that Scoot was off, like you can talk about how he kind of got burned by Harper, but dude, when he was out of the game, that means our defensive rating to go from 103 when he's in for 36 minutes to 121 for the entirety of the game. That means our defense was a complete and utter disaster when Scoot was off the floor.
Off the court.
And I think he deserves, again, you can't really blame team defense for one guy, but to me, you felt it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And with Scoot, I felt like Scoot, like when he was on the court, there's an intensity. And I haven't listened to Rob's post game, but I heard the reaction to it on the radio after the game, and it sounded like it was pretty. He was pretty serious, I guess.
Rob's
If someone in the chat has watched it and knows what I'm talking about, the Travis's and Chad's reaction to it after he gave it, they sounded sort of alarmed, or they were like, Rob does. They basically said Rob doesn't usually talk like that. Is kind of how they put it. So I'm curious to what was said. If anyone in the chat heard it and can talk about it,
If anyone knows,
that'd be cool.
maybe we can find it.
And I'm gonna start looking at the comments. I've been rambling and looking at the stat sheet.
No, you had a lot on your mind from pent up in the game.
Dude, I was just going to bring this up. Shout out to Sabir. Should they go double big? They probably couldn't because of balancing minutes. You're right that they could have balancing minutes. That was my thought too, dude. Is like, it's not like the Spurs are putting out a lineup that would really struggle against. By the way, Jethro, great job at the stream.
You like the look of it? It's my buddy.
Yeah,
my buddy Carl got it going for us.
Felsteiner? Portland Shredder?
No.
Oh, dang.
My friend Carl does graphic design. Got it going for us. He made the last one, and he got fired us up with this one.
We
So we
got to
got the
call
chat.
Felsteiner and see if he can help with this
If
in
he can
some
help.
way.
Man,
That'd be
Alden
awesome.
does architecture. He could build us something.
Yeah, design us a Blazers room, dude. Um, but I was thinking the same thing about going double big. I think that's a really interesting idea that, given what the Spurs lineup is, not a lot, not overall, not a lot of shooting, even though they didn't really show that tonight that they're a team that struggles with shooting. Or maybe they did. Would
Yeah.
they shoot from three?
They shot.
Dude, they
They were on
shot
fire from three.
48%
Yeah. I mean,
in the
again,
first half. Weren't they at like 23?
no, it was. It
Am I
wasn't.
wrong?
It
You're
wasn't
right,
as bad.
44%. What was I looking at? Maybe I was looking at our own.
They were shooting well in the first. We were shooting well in the first half. We were about 50%. I think we were like 10 of 21. If I want
God
to, if I
damn,
want to
dude.
say so,
Somebody's...
something like 4 of 17 from three in the third half. So our offense.
Here's
just
what
couldn't
pisses
keep
me
up.
off. You want to know what makes me mad?
Yeah.
So that game was it's my first. I don't know if we said this in the last video we did. That was my first playoff
That's
game,
what I thought. I thought I remember you saying that.
and it was wonderful. I had so much fun. It was one of the most fun I've ever had. I've always wanted to go to a playoff game. I have no idea why I haven't. Maybe my parents had loved me as a kid or something, because I no, I had amazing parents. They watch these
Yeah.
every single one. They're the greatest. But I never went to a playoff game as a kid. I don't know why. All the ones with Dame. I was in college. Uh, but it was amazing to go to live.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I can't remember where I was going with this.
First playoff
What
game.
were we just talking about?
I don't know.
What was my thought
Tumani was
process going
pissing
into
you
this?
off, and then
Dude, that's what it is. Yeah. Uh, here's what's annoying about. We played some very regular season style defense.
yeah,
You don't like give as much space as that because you don't think the other team is a very good shooter. You can't play with any lack of like, oh, I'm not going to close out that. I saw this a lot from Tumani tonight,
really.
where it's like he was leaving guys like Castle open, leaving guys like Vassell open. Guys who aren't. Actually, I'm not sure.
Vassell should never be open.
Should never be open.
Champagne
Yeah,
should
but
never
like
be open.
Castle was being left open and not being closed out on. And Carter Bryant didn't shoot well from three, but he still got 4 shots up. But it was pissing me off to see us play regular season style defense where like you don't fully close out because you don't think they're a great shooter. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, this is the playoffs. You can test every shot.
Yeah.
You don't play it easy because the scouting report says that you can. Oh, this guy's only going to make 20% of his shots. It's like, sure, that works over a 82 game season. Like, it's going to balance out. That doesn't work over 7 games.
You gotta be in
A
there.
guy can
in
get hot for
everyone's
7
face every
games.
time.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's what it felt like a lot tonight. Like they were getting some pretty good shots from three.
Yeah,
Obviously,
I don't.
like,
I just.
I don't
I
know.
don't think too. I didn't feel like it was Tumani as much as I felt. I thought Jeremy was a step behind on trying to get people on closeouts. I thought Drew was good. I thought Denny was fine on defense. Again, it just all came
Yeah.
down to like that, like the third and the start of the fourth quarter where Dylan Harper just kind of took it from everyone. I really thought we made him make some tough shots until it really crumbled in the end. I thought Tumani did draw a lot. Like he drew 3 offensive fouls in the first half. I thought those were big.
Very big.
One
That
of
was
them
awesome.
came after we. Remember when we got the tip off and then Tumani passed the ball to Scoot and it hit him in the foot and it just rolled out of bounds?
I know. I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, and then Tumani got an offensive foul to get it back right away.
Yeah.
So I thought that was good. Yeah, I think I think we probably should give the Spurs some more credit than us playing terribly. Like I really did think like Dylan Harper just kind of took that. Stephon Castle was incredible tonight as well, getting to the cup. I think that's probably where Klingen was the most important because I thought he was the one who was able to deter Stephon Castle the best. And I don't even know if that's true.
Dude,
Stephon
great
Castle was
play
getting
from
there.
Meek Rawl. That I don't understand how the Spurs had no Victor and Blazers couldn't attack the rim and dominate the paint. Completely agree. It didn't feel like there was much of a difference in terms of us getting to the hoop, which, especially from Denny, like he was. I'm gonna blame the injury for this, but he was straight up struggling
Yeah.
to get to the hoop from at least live, and that was really disappointing to see because I thought. I mean, I know not everyone played great, like we already talked about Tumani and Jeremy, but we got a good enough Scoot game. We got easily good enough Drew game.
Drew's
We got
awesome.
easily good enough Rob game to get us a win.
Yeah.
What we needed is our all-star to play like an all-star,
Mhm.
and he you're gonna have off games, but it's such a bummer that this is, and he's been huge in the biggest games of the season. I'm not underselling that at all. He's been fantastic in the biggest games of the season, but in the biggest game of the season, one that felt like
It felt
as
must
missed of an opportunity.
win. It felt like,
Yeah,
I mean,
a missed
if we wanted to
opportunity.
win this series, we had to win tonight. That's like
Yeah,
point blank. It's crazy though. I mean, he still got to 19, 6 and 9, but it felt like he missed a couple of rebounds he should have had. It felt like 16 was like kind of a gift on the way they were calling the game of free throw attempts. Like, I don't think there's any ref that's ever gonna really let a player get to 20 free throw attempts in the playoffs.
yeah,
Denny tried his absolute hardest to make it the case.
yeah.
Um, it's just, I think, I don't know why is the back what affects the mid range game for him, because it feels like when he's not right, and again, I don't want to put all of it on the injury because I think it's like, you're out there, you gotta play well, and like he's not on any injury report or anything, but for some reason it's like when he's not right, it's like that mid range game, the finishing from, he's not like all the way to the rim, but he's finishing from like 5 feet away. It just like falls short every time.
I know. You got to assume that's the back. I mean,
I kind of hope it is, I guess.
but it's like, is it acting up more compared to like, the last 9 games that we've playing? Like, I assume that has got to be it. He's also getting beat up and losing teeth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's the thing, dude.
I
If
wanted to
that's
ask
the
you about
case,
that. I wanted to ask you about that too. What was happening in the arena when that foul call went down?
there was some of the loudest refs you suck chants I've ever heard in my life,
Yeah.
and it was awesome. It was the crowd. This is how you know the crowd is good. The crowd was so loud that you could only hear the first 5 seconds of every uh, time the refs talk to the
The
stadium, like on
city.
the mic.
They just
It'd be
started
like
talking
you'd
to me
hear them
like,
be like,
bro.
the call was overturned, and then everyone just starts screaming, and you wouldn't hear an explanation. I didn't hear a single explanation for anything for why they called, which is I loved that.
Yeah.
Um, and by the way, where'd I go to college? Chapman University, baby.
Chapman.
Go,
Go.
go
What's Chapman?
Panthers! I guess
Panthers. The Panthers.
I'm a Panthers fan. I say go Panthers just because my best friend was from college was the tight end for the team, so I got it. But we were not a very big sports school, sadly. I wish we were.
Yeah.
The best sporting, the best basketball performance I think of all time at Chapman University was when I got absolutely hot in this basketball tournament I was playing in, and went. This is gonna be, I need a fun story to make me less depressed. There's a tournament that I had a team in that was playing. We get there and they go, and I'm a 3-point shooter. I'm like, I'm not fast. I have a bad handle, but when I'm hot, I'm one of the greatest shooters on the face of the earth. But I get there and they go, oh, just so you know, this tournament is all ones. I'm like, fuck, dang, dude. And I'm 5'9", 150. I'm not an athletic beast at all. And
Yeah.
all my friends are kind of like similarly built.
Yeah.
First team we play is like shortest
Jacked.
dude is 6'3". You know what I mean? Like shortest dude, like it felt like that. And we won that game because I went like, I don't know, my whole team was awesome, but I was like 10 of 14 from the deepest ones you will see in your entire life. Because I was like, guys, we can't get to the hoop. We can shoot. Let's let it rain from one. And we just shoot deep ones.
From
But anyways,
one.
yeah, for exactly. It was that the entire game. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. We got
anyways,
some great comments in here. PX Boom asks, what do you guys think we've learned about the team so far this
I saw
series?
it's a good question.
Um,
You want to go?
yeah, I mean, the game too, I think, is still really to take from it, because like I know that this was such an opportunity, and like it felt like we didn't live up to the moment, but I do think being on the road and that resiliency, I think, was just a stamp on the season still that we can look back from and take a lot on. I think the biggest thing is like our inconsistencies, and it's still that, we talked about this a lot, like a lack of identity. Like one night it's Denny who does everything and he plays well, and then no one else is good, and then one night it's Scoot who goes off, and then everyone else is not very good for at least 3.5 quarters until Drew finally finds himself, and then another night it's Drew who goes off, and then Denny can't find himself, and Scoot's up and down for them. I mean, pretty up for them. If anything, the biggest thing we've probably learned in this series is that Scoot is at least has a hot streak within him to really dominate. But both sides of the ball, he's been great. So I think probably two things: Scoot's alive and is a big impact player on this team, and two, we got to find something that's more reliable than Denny trying to generate fouls or Drew's one every 3 nights. Good night. Like we got to find an offense that's reliable. We got to put everyone in roles better. It's I don't want to say it's too many flat performances from everyone, because like you'll see times where Tumani goes off too, but I think we just feel like a jumbled mess of talent that sometimes powers through to the end because we have like a lot of heart and a lot of fight. But I think we just need to get organized, and I think an off season where Tiago kind of hopefully is the coach now. Was it true that the cheers for Tiago were the loudest?
They were as loud as any of them, for sure.
Yeah.
And that was awesome.
Yeah. So
that was really cool. Were people saying that?
People are saying that online.
I forgot about that. That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
So
I would say the loudest were, I've never heard the reaction to the coach be as loud as the reaction of the players at any of the games I've ever been to. I'm still used to Chauncey getting booed every single time, which was awesome. I loved that. But what did we learn from this series? You brought up a lot of good points. I think we learned that we can compete and win any game. I know that sounds like an overly positive take from a game that we just lost, but we've played the Spurs team once with Wemby, 1.5 times with Wemby. I think 1.5 games without him. It feels like we can be competitive with basically any team that we play against. Even that first game, even though we lost, it never felt like we were completely outmatched, completely outclassed. It just felt like we, mainly, and here's the negative, we just have a really disastrous half-court offense still.
Yeah.
Those are the two things that I've learned, is I feel like we can compete with any team. That doesn't mean we can win every game, but it means we can compete with any team and have a chance, I feel like, against basically anybody. But you could have a chance 100 times in a row and lose 100 times in a row.
Right.
You know what I mean? But in game 2, as that showed, is like, if you put yourself in a position where you have a chance in every game because you're competitive enough, because you have enough talent, then you can get wins against basically anybody. We saw that in game 2. And let me just say this, the series still isn't over. This was a gut punch of a loss. I said this, I thought if we won this game, Wemby's back for game 4. If we lose it, Wemby is probably going to sit out another game. I'm hoping that's still the case because, dude, no one should be panicking until we lose game 4.
Yeah.
If we can tie up the series going back to San Antonio, even if Wemby's coming back, of course, the best opportunity to win the series was to take a 3-1 lead while Wemby's out.
Yeah.
But that's going to be a tough thing to do no matter what.
Yeah.
I still think we absolutely should have won this game, but if we win tomorrow, and we would have taken going 2-2 every single time.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So did that loss suck? It was awful. It was a gut punch. It was sad to watch.
Yeah.
But it's so far from over.
Yeah.
So I don't want to sound like I'm writing our obituary at all. Because like I said, the positive that we've learned from this series is that we can compete with anybody.
Yeah.
The question is that going to lead to wins? We've
Yeah.
showed they can lead to wins, and we need that to happen in the next game.
I don't think this is that game. Like, I think a lot of series, like, I don't know, maybe you take like the Celtics 76ers as a comparison tonight, where the 76ers kind of choked in the end and the Celtics grab it from them. And, I don't know what 76ers fans are essentially feeling, but comparative to a series where, the team steals the game back at home, like, I don't think we're down. I don't think we're going to take this and like come back worse and defeated. Like, if anything, what we've seen from this team, we've talked about all the time, it's like, when our backs are against the wall, when people doubt us, and I think that's how the Blazers as a organization have always been in my lifetime, is that when no one's talking about the Blazers, when no one believes in the Blazers, that's when the Blazers play good basketball. It's as soon as the Blazers have an opportunity to do something incredible, and this team is another embodiment of that, when we have a 15-point lead and we're ready to like, go on one more run to put the game away and go up 20, that's when everything goes away. And so I think, again, it's like when Wemby's on the court, I think we'll have that extra edge to us, and we'll be prepared. So I think I agree with you. I don't think we're dead at all in game 4. I think things got a lot harder.
Can I say another thing that I've really learned from the series so far?
Yeah.
That you and I have been kind of preaching for a while, but that we are, and this goes for a lot of teams, but I think it goes more for us than, I'm going to say this, any team in the NBA. What I'm about to say is more true for us than any team in the NBA. We are our best offensive team when we're having a great defensive night.
For sure.
This is not a team that is going to have a good offensive game when we're struggling defensively. We get so many of our points after getting stops, which is a good thing because we have the roster and so many different defensive lineups that we can create a lot of offensive opportunities from. And we saw that tonight, dude. I mean, it's why, like I said, when Scoot was on the court, he was a +9 because we had a defensive rating of 103.
Yeah.
That just shows not just that Scoot was, played well tonight, but that we play our best offense when we're playing our best defense. And what that also shows, on the other hand, is kind of the negative part of it, is that we have still have a really rough half-court offense. And, dude, Meeks just said this in the chat that we need to run more double high pick and rolls. I could not agree more. I could not agree. I could not agree more. I'm tired, so words are sounding weird in my head. I could not agree more. It's still absolutely mind-blowing that we have Donovan clinging on this. It's actually like the main thing that makes me still think maybe Thiago's not the guy.
Yeah.
Because you're seeing there's a couple, and I think Thiago's the guy. I'm pretty pro Thiago at this point. But the fact that we have Donovan Clingan and Rob Will on this team, Scoot Henderson and Denny Avdia, who, like, dude, Scoot would so help from getting some screens, both as a playmaker and as a scorer. But it's brutal to watch. It's why when we stop getting stops in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And that's because of some great shot making from the Spurs.
Yes.
All credit to the Spurs. But we have to be able to score if we're not, even if we're not getting stops.
Right.
You would hope that would come from Denny with Wemby out, but he was hurt and it was not coming from Denny. He was forcing up some ugly shots.
Yeah.
So we have to, but it's cool that we are able to dominate so much when we get stops. Because there's some bad offensive teams who even when they get stops cannot score the ball.
Yeah.
But we're a team that has a really high ceiling of defensive performance. Like, we're able to put together some really amazing stretches of defense. You saw it at the end of game 2. You saw it in the first half of tonight's game. It's like we're winning not because we were going off offensively. We were going off offensively because we were getting so many stops and able to score, not even in transition. Like, it's not that we were scoring so much in, like, fast breaks, but, like, just the rhythm of the team when we're able to just get a slight burst ahead of the team off of a stop. It means everything to this team. You saw it in the stats so far. I think we had the second worst half-court offense in the playoffs so far.
Yeah, it might be third. I think the Suns are way down there because the Thunder are clamping them. And
I'm going to assume after tonight we're down to second.
Yeah, right. We're down there in the bottom
Spurs.
3 for sure.
We got some Spurs fans.
Yeah, it's all right. We can just ignore them.
That's okay. They're not wrong. Harper owns Scoot. He did at times. Scoot got him back, though. I thought Scoot played well.
Yeah.
Dimby's ass. Wemby's. I know you don't want me to respond to these, but I like it. Denny's ass. Wemby's never got 16 free throws. Denny was tough tonight, and yeah.
Yeah. Blazers in 6 says.
Congrats on the wins, guys. That was rough.
Yeah. I've learned that Scoot's ceiling is higher than we thought. Denny can be a superstar. Two's a great defender, but looks like an offensive liability. Yeah. It feels. The thing with Tumani's offense is that we're not asking him to do anything besides shoot a 3. He's just got to make the threes, and he just won't. Yeah. So, and it is like it's a part of it's an element of the half court offense that really detracts because we're not doing anything. But again, it's we're just parking him in the corner. We're not moving anyone around. We're asking very little of him, and he's not delivering. So I think that's why he looks like an offensive liability. But I agree, Blazers in 6. Scoot's ceiling is much higher than we thought after these games. Also, I see your comment about a Discord. I kind can definitely put one together if there's appetite
That's
for.
so cool that you guys would want that. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
I can definitely put that
Thank you.
together soon. Once the playoffs are over, and I have an extra second of time. But I'll definitely keep that in mind that you said that. I'd be happy to put together a little chat where we can grow the community a little bit more. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I agree with Blazers in 16. He was getting fouled pretty heavily tonight. All the calls that were called on him were correct, but it was here's the thing was frustrating about it is that brand of basketball can at times, even though it was helping us at times, we were, especially when we had a lead, it was really nice at building that lead. However, it is at times for Denny, it can be sort of a momentum killer for the team.
Yeah.
Like if we're trying to, if it's a tie game and we want to get some good energy, a good rhythm going, it's tough to do that when one guy is focused on getting to the line.
Hmm.
It's really helpful 90% of the time, but in the scenarios that we were seeing it tonight, it was pretty frustrating to watch.
Yeah.
And also to I know you don't want me to respond to anything, and I'm not going to directly. I won't directly. People were talking shit about Scoot. I'm just gonna say this, Spurs fans, like embrace that like fire in the playoffs. Like
Yeah.
I love that Dylan Harper gave it right back. That makes it fun,
That was
and he
entertaining.
got
You
that
guys,
makes it
you
fun
guys
basketball.
won. Dylan Harper clearly won. Like, I would say Scoot came out on top in game two. Maybe
Scoot
even
was,
three.
yeah, Scoot. They were both great tonight. I thought Scoot was great tonight, but Dylan Harper got him. Embrace that like fire from both teams. Like,
Yeah.
don't be like, oh, this guy sucks. I don't think Dylan Harper sucks. I thought he was kind of the
Dylan
man.
Harper's awesome, and I thought Scoot was the man too. I
Exactly.
thought Scoot blew it in the last. I think Scoot himself get a little too hot, and then Dylan Harper clamped him because Dylan Harper's an incredible defender too. So Scoot's got a little ways to go, and took a big punch. But I mean, I thought that's been the most fun, you know, kind of matchup definitely I've seen in these playoffs, or in the playoffs for the Blazers at least.
Dude, Sitha just made a great point of you can lock up Tumani by simply stopping his first shot. That's
For
very
sure.
true.
Yeah.
He is very I mean, this is one of the questions that we had going into the playoffs is, we talk about, playoff basketball is different than regular season basketball. Who's the kind of guy that you can rely on when we're, hopefully one day we're like really making a run at winning a championship, which here's a positive from this series, something we've learned. We are much closer to being really, really, really good
Yeah.
than we are far away from being bad. That's one of the frustrating parts
Far away
about
from
this
being
team
bad. Yeah.
is that, you're not watching it and think, oh, this is the best we can play. It's frustrating because like, oh my God, this is so far from the best we can play.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. You don't want to feel like we're reaching our potential and this is the best we can do. It feels like we are so far from playing our best basketball, not just in the future, but this series, but
Did it
mostly
feel
in the
like to
future.
you we ever shot an open shot tonight?
Great question.
Because
What
it
open
felt like
looks did we get?
scoots were pull ups with a guy like, maybe not in his eyes, but with a guy like his defender in front of him. It was a lot of those types of shots. Drew's were a lot of step backs, or like he had to create in the paint, like the way he was doing, and he got a lot of really lucky bounces that I think he probably deserved on a karma basis from the last two games. But you know, even like the offensive rebounds, like how many offensive rebounds did we have? We had 16 total.
Is
Even
that weird that we
those,
had 16 and they had 14?
I
It felt
know,
like we were getting killed.
I know. What was the boards overall? They were 50 to 45. They beat us on the defensive glass. Everything was about even. They had more blocks. Like it was just they kind of just made more tough shots than we did. Um, and I think once they made enough tough shots in a row, we were the ones who let the momentum slip. Like
Sure.
they kind of just gritted us out, honestly.
Sorry, I'm moving my camera a lot, by the way. I know it's probably annoying to watch, but my back is still hurt, and if I put it on the my coffee table, the camera's way too far away. So I'll just try to keep
Zidian
this.
said, "Do you think Jeremy will be on the team by opening night next season?"
Wow, really good question.
I
Uh,
think if I have a
yeah,
leading candidate for a trade we're gonna make, it's gonna be Jeremy Shaden picks for, like, I think the favorite of if the Blazers will make a trade, it'll be Jeremy Shaden and picks to someone for some sort of
Does
superstar.
Durant entice you?
No, I don't want KD.
I
Katie,
know I'm pretty mixed
Katie's
on that.
Katie's. Did you see? But aside, did you see the way that the Rockets game ended? You probably didn't because you were on the way to the game.
I watched my. It was right before the game started, so I saw LeBron's three, and then I saw that they.
Okay, so
I
you
saw
saw.
the Marcus Smart three free throws,
Yeah,
then LeBron's game tying
3.
three, but I didn't watch overtime.
Okay, you didn't need to watch overtime. They just ran away. But that choke was. At least we're not
LeBron,
the.
dude,
Someone we said this earlier. At least we're not the Rockets.
I know, but dude, can you? I'm just saying, if I could see someone, I mean, Durant is arguably a top. Uh, not even arguably, he's a top three scorer of all time. Like that would not be the worst. A
He
Jeremy and
just
Shea for
keeps.
Kevin Durant.
Yeah, he just keeps coming into teams and blowing them up. That's the other thing is like because I think we're in these theoreticals about the trades, like Giannis and stuff. It's like I don't think I think adding another superstar when we have Dame like in limbo already is too jarring. I don't want to give up any depth for a
Yeah,
superstar personally. I think what we're seeing it tonight. It's like we're coming into this and Scoot was great, Drew was great. We're always gonna play Denny, Donovan, Rob. Fine. After that, like Tumani can't keep up off it. We're complaining all night about Tumani. We got plenty of up and down about Jeremy and his play, mostly down. Matisse only played 6 minutes tonight. What do we do with Shaden? It's like clearly to me, I don't think the high end talent is what we're missing right now. I think we need 8 guys who can compete. Because you look at the Spurs and Champagny, Cornette, Fox, Vassell, Castle all play good. Keldon Johnson gives you, even when he shoots 1 for 7, gives you good minutes. Carter Bryant played 23 minutes tonight. It was 1 of 5, 1 of 4 from 3, but his 3-point shot was really timely. Like, he was a plus 17. Dylan Harper was a goddamn plus 25. Like, what we're missing, I don't think, is because Dame is coming back in particularly. I don't think what we're missing as much is, like, the number one guy. Maybe we make that move for that, if we hit a wall and we're pushing up against the Spurs and we can't break Spurs and Thunder, we can't break through. But what we need is like the 7th and 8th guy to play good, to contribute, to not detract, right? Because
yeah.
right now Jeremy's been a minus. I think I calculated out a minus 34 in 3 games. And I know plus minus isn't everything, but you're seeing like it's the depth just isn't catching up.
I see where you're coming from. I felt like tonight. I mean, Denny. I'm totally convinced that Denny is a number 1 option on this team going forward. I have no doubt about that. Just because it's a rough game tonight, but like I said, I actually felt like the depth mostly showed up tonight. Were they able to do it for 48 minutes? It's like no. Like obviously Scoot
Mm-hmm.
and those guys aren't yet at the point where they can drop 30 consistently for 48 minutes. But like I said, 29 from Drew,
Mm-hmm.
29 from Scoot, a great game from Rob. Like what we needed tonight was Denny.
Yeah.
And this is either a positive or a negative, because the positive could be that I am going to move this. I'm just going to be uncomfortable. I'm, I'm tired of seeing myself move, and there's no way that's not annoying for everyone watching. Um, it's we just need Denny to be better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I was saying, here's the positive. The positive is that he just had an off game, and we have if Scoot and Drew, especially Drew, continue to play like this, which was my number 1 thing is I need to see Drew Holiday play like Drew Holiday, and he absolutely did that tonight. We still lost against the Wimby-less Spurs. Um, the negative to that uh, is that he might be hurt, and this might be what we get for the rest of the series because we
Yep.
just had a 2-day. We haven't played since
3 days,
Tuesday,
three
right?
days off. Yeah.
So that's
I
tough.
hope he's hurt. It's
You hope he's hurt.
I hope he's like this because it's hurt. Because sometimes it's
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
yeah. I hope it's not that, you know, the higher intensity, I don't even know if it's like really the changing of the rest, but just like seeing a better defenders every night who are so keyed in on you isn't really clamping him. But I don't think that's the case because I guess it's like, he had 41 against the Suns and he had 30 against the Spurs. with Wemby in there. Like there's better Denny in there. We just need it. So yeah, I guess I truthfully am hoping he's just banged up and that's what it is. I mean, no night proved our. I tweeted this out. The Monty Python guy who gets his limbs cut off. The analogy we were
Yeah.
putting for Denny. He literally got his tooth broken and kept going tonight. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Dude, Mordecai just said, I think he's a Spurs fan in the chat. Happy to have you. Spurs are still missing. Really are. We are happy. I like seeing.
Yeah, like everyone. I
I
like
like seeing
anyone who'll
everyone.
come in here. Except the guy. Well, one guy was
Absolutely.
spamming a little too many chats, so we should trade Jeremy for a hamburger. So I had to mute
Oh
that.
yeah,
You're all
you had to mute
welcome.
that guy.
Everyone of every fan is welcome to come in here and say what they want, but no
Absolutely.
spamming.
Yeah, Spurs still missing a power forward. Dude, that's kind of the funny thing about this Spurs team is like this is a team that could legitimately win. Like, and this is a positive to why we just lost. Um, the Spurs could win like 5 rings with this, with this team because they are. You still feel like they're a piece away. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? They could win the title this year, and it still feels like they're a piece away. Like Mordecai just said, they're still missing a power forward. You're right. I believe that the Spurs could realistically need to add another guy to they could
and
easily get.
they have a
And
ton of
still
draft
be,
picks, and
yeah,
there's obviously the Thunder who are just a whole nother level of challenge too with all their draft picks. I think it's like
yeah,
it's a crushing loss to lose like this where the Spurs don't have Wemby when it feels like we're playing great basketball. When it feels like we have a pretty well-rounded team. Like this is an opportunity we could take advantage of, but the Spurs are still so much ahead of us. They
yeah.
truthfully are. It's just the reality, and the Thunder are even more ahead of that. Like I'll be honest with you, Mordecai. Like the Thunder are a lot better than you guys. I'll give them that. So the problem
Are
is
they?
that that's how I feel.
I don't know, dude. I don't know, dude. I don't. Maybe this might be me coping with us
Maybe,
losing. Like I'm trying to think of a. So
oh,
I
way.
might be back and thinking the Spurs are going to win the title. I really might be. I think
Dylan,
I might
the
just be
fact that Dylan Harper got unlocked might have done something.
exactly. It's
But
like Jesus Christ.
I
They
think
have that
there's
guy now.
yeah, I think there's the Spurs are another level, and I mean I think the Thunder until they've been knocked off, which maybe the Spurs can do. They did beat them 3 times this year, but
Yeah.
there's levels to this, as they say, and so I think it's just we still have as the Blazers have so many moves and so many more developments and so many more leaps we have to make in order to get to the top and get to those guys that you know I just think taking every win we can have and realizing that as long as we're continuing to move forward and up and we don't take those steps backwards, which that's all everything we've done this season, to put it back into perspective, this is all house money this entire series. It's like, there's plenty. I think that's the best thing we can take away is like you were saying before, there's so much better this team can play and we know it. And it's frustrating that they won't give that to us for an entire 48 minutes every
It's
game. They never do
yeah.
it. They never. When's the last time you remember us blowing a team out that wasn't, like a tanking team?
I know that's what's frustrating. It's like
Because we've
we can
beaten
keep
close, we've
saying
beaten good teams, but I can't remember us. I thought we were gonna do it against the Nuggets that one time, and that didn't last, right? Like, I can't remember a time that we have blown out like a solid team.
well that's what's frustrating about being like, we know we haven't played to our max potential yet.
Yeah.
Because I mean, obviously we've seen it against, the Suns. I thought that was a really good, well played games. The Clippers games. Like we've had plenty of really, really great games, but there's too many games where we're like, we just didn't play to our full potential,
Right.
which is frustrating. But it's also
I'd rather have it.
um,
I'd rather have it that way.
exactly. You'd rather have it that way. Um, but you want to see this team be unlocked a little bit more frequently. But it's tough to do that when, like I said, it feels like we're so reliant on it's weird that we're like so reliant on getting stops to play well, which is cool given what our roster is. We should be relying on getting stops because we have the kind of roster that should get a lot of stops. Um, Yet it still seems like the focus of the team is. I still feel like Thiago wants us to be more of an offensive focused team. Um, Not that he doesn't care about defense. He clearly does. I think it's been one of the best improvements of him as a coach. Is he's, I think, in the second half of the season, coach the team more to how they should be and less how he wanted them to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh, which is like I said, we're playing. I thought we've played in the last 20 games a brand of basketball that makes much more sense given our roster. Um, However, it's still you would hope that we continue to focus being on more of a um, defensive minded team because our half court is just still continuing to struggle. But we got Sunday. Sunday's the real big game of the series. I feel like I lost my train of thought or whatever I was just talking about. I'm sleepy, so if I
Yeah. We're
I don't even remember what I started. I don't remember what I started talking about. I hope I recovered well.
my brain is just like a
My
rotating
brain.
wheel of Blazer thoughts, and I'm just kind of throwing some of them out. But you guys have been great. I mean, our chat numbers are going up. I don't know if that's because maybe other Blazers chats have gone off, but the one those of you guys have been hanging out here the whole time. You're awesome. Thanks for doing this with us.
Yeah.
It means a lot to have to be able to speak Blazer stuff and hear what you guys are thinking and just just enjoy the run of this team because I know tonight sucked, but this has been
Yet
such a fun run.
I wanted to bring up Meek was asking this question. A couple other people were talking about this. That if you would, do you think it would be worth making any type of lineup change?
Um, and we got this question a little bit ago too. I think in a YouTube comment of a YouTube video.
I
I
personally,
think the only thing you
yeah,
could really do is put Rob in there to start. Um, I don't think it's worth it. Um, you're getting just as much minutes from him off the bench as he can really give you, and
I think
yeah,
I'm not saying it wouldn't go well, but I think it would be. There's not a single guy on the roster who I don't think wouldn't take that very personally to be benched game 4 of the playoffs.
yeah,
Because if you bench, and again, I'm not saying it wouldn't work, but I'm saying I don't think it's worth the risk of um, how much that would
yeah,
kill.
piss him
Like
off.
Kling had started all season. To
Yeah.
all of a sudden in game 4 of the playoffs, be like, sorry, dude, no more.
Yeah,
I don't
I
think
think
you can
you're
do
right.
that.
I think the slight benefit it maybe could cause is not worth the mental. And like the person who's been in and out of the lineup is Scoot, but like you can't
He's earned it.
Scoot's earned it more than anyone. Like I mean maybe like would you do like could you take Tumani out? I don't think so.
Well, that's what Meek was saying. He said Grant needs to start over Kamara for game 4. And I assume most people are going to be like, no way, Jeremy's been terrible. Jeremy has been terrible. So has Tumani. I still think we need to keep Tumani in the starting lineup. I don't think we should do that. However, I think what his point is that I can absolutely understand and see is that uh, Jeremy does seem to be struggling in the 6-man role in the playoffs,
Hmm.
which makes a lot of sense because we know Jeremy's kind of struggles to create off the dribble. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's not something that's new at all. And he's able to do it against opposing teams' benches in the regular season. We saw him really succeed as a 6-man because it's easy to go against lesser lineups in the regular season against worse teams, but he's basically going when he's in the game, like playing a 6-man, like score for us role against one of the best bench defenses in the entire league. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It does that role for him no longer really makes sense. Jeremy is always best as a play finisher and not a play creator. When
Hmm.
he comes off the bench as a 6-man against the Spurs, he's being forced to be a play creator. I still don't think he should start just because Tumani's defense still is too important, and you want to he
He
started
started every
82
game. He
games for
can't
us.
yeah.
You can't bench him. You can't do that. Even if I think it could work, I don't think you could do that. I don't think it's worth the risk. And I still believe in Tumani to turn it around and have a really good rest of the playoffs.
He's just got to make a shot, man. Just has to
I
make
know.
his shot.
Blazers in 6, I wouldn't mind seeing Matisse start over too. I wouldn't either. We've kind of said this all season. We really like Tumani. We've kind of gone back. We're still not that we've gone back and forth. We still think we're still, I'd say, unsure on if he is for sure the starting forward going forward. We still think he is. We think he's a absolutely important part of this team that I hope he's a Blazer for life. Are we completely sure he is the starter on a championship version of this team? No. Could he be? Absolutely, but we're still not sure of it because Blazers 6 said, like I say, wouldn't mind starting Matisse over 2. there's a few guys who I think it would be very interesting to see them in that starting lineup. But sadly, it's way too late. And I kind of think, given his workload, his role in the team, a guy
Yeah.
like he'd have to be replaced by a guy like Giannis, who Alex brought up trading for him again. I'm still pro trading for Giannis. I think there's not a world in which I would ever say no to that. I think a lot of people here would disagree. The only thing is that now I just don't think Scoot should be a part of that trade.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that makes it like, will they do it? Would they do a Jeremy, Shea, and a bunch of picks trade for Giannis? Maybe. I know they want their picks back, obviously, but I
I don't
can't.
know.
I'm
I,
not
I
sure.
don't know if Giannis is very available because I think Taylor Jenkins kind of um, is going to appease that situation pretty well. It seems like Giannis wanted him. Although the reporting is that Shams was trying to push out was that Giannis wasn't a part of that decision, but I don't know if I believe that. Also, I'm getting reminded that the Clippers games we had were blowouts, and that's pretty true. I guess
Yeah, that was awesome.
the that first one we had a good lead. The second one was I felt like, and I didn't actually get to watch the second one because I was at Coachella, but it felt like that second one was a lot closer for most of the game, and then we just completely ran away with like 5 minutes left.
But going off of Blazers and six Sid, like, you gotta ask, like, what was different about this game versus the Clippers game that we won by 19? Because I think the Spurs without Wemby are still better than the current Clippers. But
Sure.
if you can beat that Clippers team in that game by 19, you'd assume you could beat the Spurs team without Wemby by 8. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And the only difference, really, because I mean, how good was Drew against the Clippers? He was fantastic.
I mean, how good was Denny
Sc-
against the Clippers in
But
that
how
game?
good was Denny,
Denny
dude?
had
And I,
30. Was in that Clippers game, the second one where we locked up the 8th seed. Denny in
yeah,
35 minutes had
yeah,
35 points on 11 of 19. 11 of 19. Isn't it kind of incomprehensible to think that Denny can shoot 11-19 when you watch that game tonight? He was
yeah.
11 of 19 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3. Like the 3 still wasn't there. 12 of 13 from the free throw line.
Yeah, he was
Four rebounds,
fantastic.
5 assists, 3 turnovers. So that was pretty
PDX
good.
Boom brings up. Am I crazy for thinking we should cut Shea out of the rotation?
You know, I
You're
don't.
definitely not crazy. I don't know if
You're
that
not
should be
crazy.
done.
I honestly don't think so.
I'd say
Cause
I don't
like,
think so either.
cause like I don't know. I guess I don't know where else we're getting help right now. Like Matisse is. I love Matisse on defense. His offense took a nosedive today.
Yeah, you
Really,
sadly see how he still isn't there in the playoffs
yeah. Um,
offensively.
I think Shaden. I was saying this earlier. I think this was before you got on. I think Shaden is really trying to do the right things right now. Like I
Yeah,
really think he's. Maybe the effort isn't playoff level that it needs to be. Right? Like maybe it's not. It's not 100%. But Shaden, I think, has gone from like 50% to 75%, and he's trying to be a role player like he knows he needs to be. I just don't think he's. It's not in his habits to make quick passes to um, fight really hard for rebounds. But I think he's trying.
well, I've something I've very sadly kind of been a proponent of is I think Shaden, the reason for some of Shaden's struggles at times isn't as much due to effort as people think it is.
Yeah.
And I think we're kind of seeing that this postseason where I've been fine with his effort level,
Okay. Yeah.
but
Because I kind of
he,
agree. Um, but I think there's someone said I forget who, maybe it was PDX Boom who grabbed PDX Boom watched the Rob press conference, and
oh, that's right.
he said the Spurs got in the Blazers' head, and that this is the type of loss that quote you lose sleep over. He said the Blazers couldn't match their intensity.
Yeah.
And it was that, I thought we did for 2.5 quarters.
Yeah.
I think it's something with this team. It's partly human nature, I guess. But
Yeah.
when we go up 15, we just turn into a different team.
Yeah.
And because again, like the Spurs blowout or both the Clippers big wins, right? Those weren't like we took a big lead in like the third and then ran away. That was like dogfight till the end, and we came out on top and then ran the score up a little bit.
Sure.
I'll go look through the kind of schedule real quick. Maybe I can see what this looks like real quick here. Hold on. Oh yeah, look at the stream now. I can share my desktop, Brad.
Let me see. I'm a little behind, I think, on it.
Um, I mean, we can go through this like schedule of the season together. Um, so yeah, like that Clipper win, kind of ran away with it. We haven't played. I mean, we haven't beaten a Minnesota close. But I'm just looking at all these wins, and it's like even like 10 against the Jazz. I think that Pacers game. Again, these are all just tanking teams. We haven't played a lot of good teams in recent months. But I just am trying to like remember a game, and it's been so long. Like 1 point over Houston, 6 over Houston. Maybe it was the Heat game, and I think Sabir brought this up. I think that Heat game was maybe one of the last ones where we, ran away and took a lead. But how good are the
Also,
Heat? I don't know.
Sabir, it's completely okay if you want to go to sleep. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, we
Don't
gotta
feel any
we
need.
we probably need to do the same at some point
Yeah,
here.
feel no need to stay up to watch us.
Yeah, we're not
You
gonna
guys have been
take we're not
awesome. Keep
taking
on.
attendance.
Exactly. Exactly. We're so we're happy with all you guys, no matter what. Anyone who's in here for even a second, that's just
Yeah,
awesome.
Sabir
So
Miami. That Miami game was good. That Miami game was like kind of when felt like we were peaking,
yeah. Um.
and then we lost 6 in a row after that. That was when Denny was playing well. That was when Shaden led us in scoring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times in a 9-game span.
Isn't that pretty impressive?
It's like we do need that guy, man. Like we
Yeah,
need.
but is he? Can he play in this type of situation?
I
Like
know.
to me, he can't handle the physicality yet,
I
and
know.
that's why I'm not going to give up on Shaden. If next season Shaden still hasn't bulked up, that's when I'm going to be like, okay,
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to work out because he doesn't have the handle, and we're talking about playoff situations. So he can get by in the regular season, have some really good games, but he doesn't have the handle to get by people. He doesn't have the strength to get by people in the playoffs, and defensively, he doesn't have the strength that clamp up guys in the playoffs. That's why Scoot, despite being young, he's built like a linebacker, dude,
Yeah.
like a running back, I guess more. And he that's why he's able to get those stops because he's young. He's like unbelievably strong. Shade is not that. He doesn't have the handle to make up for it. He's not a great enough shooter to make up for it. So even though he's given it his all, that's like I've kind of said, like that's not the only issue with Shea. I always kind of had this feeling with or this thing with Aiton too. Could be like everyone says like, oh, Aiton's problem is only effort.
Yeah.
It's like actually Aiton can't he's got really bad hands.
Yeah.
He cannot catch the basketball. He's slim, but he also doesn't take much contact, and he's not great at boxing out, despite being a good rebounder. Um, a lot of the times, if you're good enough, it's not just an effort issue. Or if you're not, for a lot of guys, it's more than just an effort issue, if that's what people are saying. And I think Shaden's problems are not just effort based, but kind of physically based too.
Yeah.
And he's still young, so I'm hoping to see that change in the future, but that can't change during this playoff series. So I'm in this weird boat just to answer that question of should we cut Shea's minutes? I either want to see them cut or I want to see him get like 25. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I feel like if Tiago's going to use him, give him a better
Let him try. Let him
um,
try to be the guy that we want to.
exactly
That we
because he's
want to
putting me
see.
in a weird time. So, but like those times, it's like I don't think he's being used perfectly, but he's not making the
The
most of those
Yeah. It's
situations.
just
So
yeah.
yeah,
The problem is like the things that I want more of from this team are the things that Shaden doesn't do. If that makes sense. Like
yeah,
I want more ball movement. I want more. I mean, Shaden's good in transition
sure,
if we can get stops while he's on the court.
yeah,
Um, I think there could be more offense designed for Shaden, and I think that's been a huge gripe of people who are really in Shaden's corner. Um, which
it's
is
so true,
which
dude.
is
Because
which
when
is
we've
but
seen him
it's
come off of screens and he can fly and he doesn't have to worry about using his handle or his strength, and you can just give him. Shaden only needs this much space to make something happen.
yeah.
But we're asking him to create all that space on his own, and it's not going to work right now against his team in the playoffs.
I don't know, man.
PDX Born, thank you so much, dude. Have a good night.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe we call in a sec here ourselves.
Yeah, and
Um,
Blazers in 6. That's a good. That's a good comparison. I've gotten a lot of I was such a huge Ant believer. It's what I get. Even though I'm not the
I got
biggest Shea
I got
believer,
the
I understand
Anthony
why people
I got
are
the
because
Anthony
I was
on right
so.
now.
What's up?
I got the Anthony on right now.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
Nice, dude.
tribute.
Did you buy that at the game? He made the game winner.
I think so. That
No,
was when we were together. Cause I bought it in
no. I
the
think
I bought it in the Rip
you.
City store. I think I did.
You know what you bought that? You bought that at the Spurs game, Wimby's first game,
Oh, is that the one I did?
which we
Yeah,
saw the first game Wimby ever played it. Remember we
at
sat
Moda.
next to that guy who decided
Oh yeah,
I was his best friend for 48
that
minutes and
guy
just
loved. Maybe that's how we knew we needed to get into podcasting because
I was like, this guy likes
he was hearing
talking
our
to us.
banter and he would not let us go. He would just wanted to be a part of
Nice
it so
guy,
bad.
nice guy, but he was terrorizing me. I talked to him. You were home. I hadn't seen you in like 6 months or whatever, and I talked to him more than I talked to you.
Yeah, because you were too
Maybe
nice.
he's a fan of the show. If
You
you
were too
are,
nice to turn him away.
I know it's tough. I'm
Yeah,
cursed with kindness, but also with uh, hatred of most
strangers.
interactions. But
uh,
yeah, you want to wrap it up?
yeah. I mean, this is great again. Thank you, everyone who's been hanging out in here, chilling with us, letting us decompress. I feel like I got out every thought I wanted to. Um, a lot of them didn't even make sense as I got them out, but just workshopping through what we saw, because I think it's just a mess. There was so much that was going right, and then so much went wrong so fast, and it's you know it's hard to fully figure out what happened, but just try to sit here and put everything in perspective that this season has already been deemed a win. We have bigger challenges ahead with our owner and him. Um,
Can I say one more thing that I've said after every game?
what
What was my goal for this series?
6? Go to 6.
No, what did I want to see from this team?
Oh, fight.
Yes, of course. But what did I want to see that we were one away of from being a contender?
Oh, we're one Damian Lillard away.
Could you think of a better example of a game where we were one game away from easily winning? When things slowed down and Denny was struggling in the half court, you're telling me Dame couldn't have gotten us like the easiest 20 points of your life tonight?
Yeah. Cause do you think that if like Dame's out there, Denny can shift to a like put his energy in defense and be a very productive player and just take like kind of be a spot up 3-point shooter. He's maybe not a great one, but Tumani was
No,
like
I think
before
it does the opposite, where it makes him so much, gives him so much more space and
to
freedom to drive,
operate.
and he
Yeah,
can
yeah.
be a better version of what he is now. I think hopefully next season, what we see is that not that Dame is back as the clear number one option, but that he makes Denny look like even more of the clear number one option, and Dame will look like, I think what people were hoping he'd look like in Milwaukee, but I
This
think that fit makes a bit more sense with Denny, and I think
sure
it's going to be,
spot up shooter. Yeah, but yeah, I
yeah,
mean, just one more outlet, one more offensive outlet would have done us a lot of good tonight. I think you're right. So we are. It feels like we're one Dame away from something. I don't know if we're
yeah.
one Dame away from a title, but we're one Dame away from something really good because we're
I
knocking.
kind of think we are. I think I'm insane.
I
I think we're one game away from being as good as arguably as good as any team in the league.
yeah, we're one Dame away from being a contender. You know,
Yeah,
one Dame away from being one injury away from winning a title. Maybe I'll put it
sure.
like that.
I think with Dame we'd be next year we were going to be a 3 seed. I think only the Spurs team and the Thunder are a team that
The
could be
Nuggets
better.
fall off.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I
Timberwolves aren't a regular season team. Rockets are
and dude,
dead. We're better than I think we're better than the Lakers with Dame
I think we're better, especially
without
next
when they
year. I
lose
think we're
LeBron.
better. The Timberwolves are not going to be getting better. The Rockets actually might be better next year, depending on what they do in the offseason.
The
Lakers,
Rockets look like they're about to free fall.
I think they're. I hope they don't. I mean, if I was a fan of the team, I would hope they wouldn't because
They wouldn't blow it up.
clearly they have something there. It's just that right now
I think they're gonna fire
it's
Udoka.
not. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think they should fire
yeah.
Udoka. Do you?
We'll put it at that. We're a game away from being really, really good, and I think we did feel
Yeah.
that tonight. So it's a bummer we didn't pull it out, but we got a chance in Game 4. We're not dead. Again, I think that we play our best basketball. I still fully believe that we play our best basketball when no one thinks we will, and
Yep.
when the going gets tough. So Game 4, we'll get it done on Sunday. We'll see you guys
Blazers are
there.
still cool, dude.
The Blazers are still cool. Yeah. Keep believing. Tell everyone that you think we got a chance. Let us know.
Yes.